Hello everyone and welcome to Monday. I've got a few updates for some things I talked about in the last few days. First thing, you know those boxes that we ordered and then they sent us the wrong size? Well, we reached out to the company and they were like, oh, whoops, okay, we'll send you the right ones. And they said to just keep the ones that they had sent. So we've got boxes that are too small but will technically work. They just won't hold as much stuff. So maybe we will use them for some games. Now that we know that we don't have to return them and that we just have them, maybe we'll throw some stuff in it. I don't know. We didn't do it today. We might do it this week, but we're really just waiting to get the bigger boxes. Another thing, on Saturday, I had talked about the fact that one of my hard drives failed, which was exciting, but it was just a clone drive. It was just for redundancy, so I didn't lose anything. But that new drive arrived today. We put everything into the quarantine zone for a day before we open it, so it's chilling. And then tomorrow I'll actually open it and put that new drive in. So that'll be happening tomorrow. Today, however, I thought that we would turn our attention to something that many of you probably have forgotten all about. And admittedly, unless you've taken the journey, you may not even know about. When Mao and I got married, we were living in Columbia, South Carolina. We lived there for a year. And in that time, Mallory bought an orchid, and this orchid was named Atticus, and it gave off flowers whenever Mal got it, and then it never gave off flowers ever again, and that was in 2012. And we never talked about it basically ever again. I think there was probably some times maybe you could see Atticus in the background of some vlogs, but by and large it wouldn't have been unusual for you to assume that we threw Atticus away because we never talked about him. But I've got good news. Atticus is still alive. And more importantly, for the first time in 8 years, Atticus has flowers. And that's wild. And we suspect that the reason this is because the shower that we have here is like the perfect combination of factors that will allow the orchid to bloom. Because orchids require, Mal knows more about it than I do, but they require very specific...
They're not supposed to have direct sun because they burn.
Yeah.
They have high humidity. Otherwise it's just kind of like water.
They need some moisture.
Yes.
But not a lot.
I think in the apartment it sat next to my desk by the window, the big door window.
Yeah.
And in the last place they sat on our nightstand, the tall dresser, in our bedroom. And they got sun and they would give a leaf or two or a root. But when I put them here where there's humidity from the shower and it's a north window because that's the perfect window for them, this one in particular, Atticus, has given off all these crazy roots, all these new leaves, and then finally flowers. So I'm excited.
This thing is big.
These roots on this side, these were all in the last few months, these air roots.
Yeah.
So it's gone real crazy.
It's also been a little precarious because where this thing is, we have a tiny window.
This is as much space as right there.
Yeah, we have a tiny window above our shower, and it's, again, it's providing the perfect amount of light and then the perfect amount of moisture from the shower, because we shower with, the plants in there. And Mao has 3 orchids, and they're the same orchids she's had forever, and this was the very first one from 8 years ago, and it took 8 years.
I had forgotten which one this one was. Because when they all look the same here, except one of them's tiny, so I know which one that is.
You've repotted them all.
Well, I switched them.
Yeah.
Because the other pot, the other big one is in, I thought that was Atticus. But that one's purple. Because I have a purple and a white one, and then this one was white. So this is Atticus.
Don't you have a yellow one?
No.
I imagine that?
Yes.
Oh.
The little one I have is also white. But that one's it's this tall. So I know which one that is.
Sure. Anyway, I'm happy for you.
I'm really excited.
This is something, even though we haven't really mentioned it much on the vlog, Mao has talked about for years. I wonder when we'll finally get more flowers. I can't believe it's been, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But yeah, it took 8 years
to get the right spot for it.
I don't know. obviously it's just about the factors of its environment, but it does feel kind of nice, in a year that has otherwise been, well, I said it on Twitter the other day, the equivalent of the world's longest sigh. It's kind of nice to see something bloom and be like, wow, it's been 8 years since we've seen flowers on this thing, and here it is. And it's just kind of nice. So I thought that today we would share that with you. And, if the other ones flower, we'll share that too. There hasn't been anything yet, but this only flowered like what? Probably about 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah, and then it was like 2 days later, and then probably another 2 days for this one, and then down the line.
Yeah. I just don't know if it keeps growing.
Well,
what are we going to do with it? It's not going to fit in the shower.
I don't know.
We'll have to come up with a solution. Anyway, for anyone who's ever wondered, Atticus is alive and well.
So are the other two.
And all the other orchids are fine too, but again, this is the first time 8 years we've seen flowers. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?